president may have the West Wing, but the East Wing belongs to the First Lady. A brand new movie starring Nancy Stafford centers around the fight for that office, at least until an unexpected offer rolls around.
A woman I once knew. She's quite the character. What hasn't been done, she will do. What has been done, she will do better.
What kind of president doesn't have a first lady? It's plain un-American.
She's an ex-first lady. That's all. She doesn't get a do-over just because her husband died.
You just saved our jobs.
It looks like you have a second chance.
Okay, you say he's only a bodyguard, then why is the State Department here?
I think it is safe to say that none of us saw that coming.
Well, Nancy Stafford is here with us now. Welcome back to the 700 Club. It's been a while since we've been together here.
Again,
Thanks,
Terry.
you too. It looks like such a fun movie. I want to ask you, in the role that you play as the First Lady, every First Lady to me sings so distinctly different. Did you have one that was a favorite that you kind of patterned your role after?
That's a great question. I actually took bits and pieces of attributes of the First Ladies I most admire and made a composite character. So I took the vivaciousness and the feistiness of Barbara Bush. You knew exactly
what you were talking about.
And the grace and dignity of Laura Bush and her humor, and even the compassion of Michelle Obama, and our current First Lady Melania, her dignity and grace and tremendous strength under great pressure. So she's a composite of a lot of First Ladies.
Fun. What a fun role.
Oh, my goodness. Who wouldn't love to play FLOTUS, for heaven's sake?
So take us into the movie. We just saw little snippets of it there, but your husband is president. Yeah. He dies while in office, and then what happens?
His dying wish is that I would help our current vice president in his bid for the presidency, mainly in an effort to be sure that our dizzy opponents do not completely destroy the integrity of the position. So I run alongside of him as a non-spousal First Lady.
Oh,
yeah.
What was the hardest part of your role?
The speed, probably, with which you shoot. This is an independent production, beautifully done by the wonderful writer, director, producer, Nina May. But when you're doing independent production, it's very fast. So it was probably, I was in almost every scene.
Know your lines.
Know your lines. That's right. But it was a delight. Every day was just absolutely a joy.
This is not a political movie, even though we're talking about political scenarios here, but it really is a romantic comedy. So where does the romance come into that?
You're exactly right. It's set in the world of presidential politics, completely nonpartisan, non-political. But the prince of my youth, I had fallen in love as a teenager when my father, who ran the CIA, took me to a European country.
What a life you've had.
I'm telling you. Well, First Ladies. But interestingly, it's sort of the story of the prince and the pauper. So the young prince of this land disguised himself as his valet. So he would see if he could win my heart as a real person, which he did. And then years separate us. And now the prince of my heart, who's now literally a king, comes back into my life to try to win my heart.
There's another factor at play in this performance, and that is the boomers versus the millennials. Yes. How does that play out?
Well, these opponents of ours that we're trying to keep out of the White House are influencer type selfies who want to, paint the White House pink. And they are the millennials. So it's a clash of generations, boomers and traditionalists and millennials, but also a clash of agendas, a clash of priorities and values. And even though it's not a faith film, it's full of kingdom values.
Yes.
Kate is a woman who has tremendous integrity and self-sacrifice and grace. And it's really, and also I love the fact that the king, really, if those of us who have eyes to see, the king who has disguised himself again to come in as a commoner reminds me so much of our Savior. The Lord left our King of Kings, left heaven, and he became one of us. Sorry.
It's okay, I do it all the time.
But when you realize that it indicates, he tells Kate, as Jesus tells us, I see you, I haven't forgotten you, and I've come for you.
And does that, you say that the movie brings hope, is that the underlying message?
Yes, I think it is.
He does see us, we have value.
Yes, second chances, it's never too late for a second chance. And it's a message of hope again. And all the family can see it. It's a wonderful Valentine's Day release for
That's
date
when it's
night,
out. How
girls' night out.
romantic comedy released on Valentine's Day
know.
doesn't get any better than that.
Yes, isn't it great?
How did you get into the whole family value genre that we'd like to see more of?
Don't we ever? So we're hoping this does well so we can do more of this kind of thing, PG. As an actor, for 150 years, when I was doing shows like Matlock and others, it was an era where it was safe, it was wholesome, values that were uplifting and ennobling. And then television changed. Yeah. And I turned down more work than I accepted for many, many years. Not because I had agents fire me and say, you don't want to work. And I said, you have no idea. I can't do that work. Mm-hmm. So
good for you.
I began to just find these smaller films that were either faith or wholesome family films. And now there are more and more of them. And I am just determined to be a part, not only now as an actor, but also now as a beginning producer, shepherding through the pipeline, worthy projects that will ennoble and uplift audiences. Audiences want this kind of movie. Whether you're believers or not, you want to leave a theater feeling better about yourself, feeling like something to aspire to.
That's my criteria for whether I go or not.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
In the midst of the hubbub of life, I want to leave better because I saw what was done.
Yes.
And I agree with you. One of the ways that we have to let Hollywood know that we want these movies is by going to see them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is how you vote. So opening weekends are very important for box office because it tells Hollywood, ooh, yes, we want more of that.
Yeah.
And so we so appreciate you and you informing audiences about projects like this.
Well, and we appreciate your stand for what's wholesome and good and righteous in Hollywood. Not easy, I'm sure, but thank you so much for being with us today and letting us know about this. Hey, be sure to get out there and watch it. The movie's called First Lady. It sounds like it's a wonderful night out on Valentine's Day with that special person in your life. It hits theaters 1 week from today, so check your local listings, or you can go to cbn.com to see if it's playing near you. Great to see you,
Good
Nancy.
to see you,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well,